Hi guys! So a couple of days ago, the lineup for this year's CMA Fest was released. If you don't know what CMA Fest is, it is pretty much the biggest country music festival party of the year in Nashville. It goes for 4 days and it always kicks off with the CMT Awards. For the past 2 years, I've attended CMA Fest, one of my favorite things that I've ever been to, and it's super reasonably priced. Nashville itself can get kind of pricey with like hotels or Airbnbs or whatever, so if you know somebody, that's usually the way to go, that you have somewhere to stay. Or staying like in Hendersonville, somewhere in that area about 20 minutes outside of Nashville, you just have to get up earlier in the morning to get the things you want to get to. But the tickets are $25 for the 4-day festival pass, where you go and you can meet artists and you can like go inside like where the convention center type area in Nashville is, and Music City Center, and attend the concerts on the free stages and all that kind of stuff. So with the lineup being released, and God willing I will be able to go again this year, I would absolutely love to. I'm still trying to work that out, make sure I'll have like the time off and stuff like that. But it got me thinking about my experience going to the CMT Awards last year. That was my first time ever being inside an award show, attending. It was a whirlwind experience for me because I've grown up watching all different types of award shows. So today I just kind of wanted to talk about that, share my experience with you guys. If you've ever wondered what it's like to attend an award show, anything like that, I got the inside scoop. So if you want to hear about my experience at the CMT Awards, keep on watching. Okay, so it's kind of a wild card experience to be one of the pit fans, which is usually how people attend the CMT Awards without being invited, or being a seat filler, which if I were to ever attend again without like having a personal invite, I would absolutely want to go and be a seat filler, because those guys have it made. With how TV and award shows work, when the camera pans across the audience in between takes, coming in and out of commercial breaks when somebody wins, getting reactions of the guests and stuff like that, the crowd always has to look full just for camera purposes. So the seat fillers, when people get up because they have to perform or present or accept their award, someone will come and sit in their seat so that the crowd always looks full. So I saw these seat fillers last year that were having a grand old time. They were sitting next to the Backstreet Boys, sitting next to Jason Aldean and Blake Shelton, drinking their drinks, not a care in the world, and they got to be on camera, which is like the best job ever. So I don't know how exactly you apply to be a seat filler, and I don't know how far in advance you have to apply, but I'm definitely going to try and do that this year because that would be a dream. So the way that I attended last year was actually kind of a funny story. My friend Liz and I have attended CMA Fest together for the past 2 years. And we knew that last year, after going for the first year, experiencing it, knowing how everything works, being more accustomed to how things work, we knew that we wanted to try and attend the CMT Awards, because the first year that we went, we ended up stumbling upon one of the outside stages that the performances were going on at. So we got to see Brothers Osborne and Kelsey Ballerini, my queen, perform, and it was absolutely incredible. We were on camera for like a split second, but after experiencing that and getting a little bit of a taste of what it's like to attend an award show scenario, we knew that we wanted to be inside the following year. So what will happen is, closer to the award show, artists that are attending will start to post codes like, oh, you want to go, enter this code, because it's free to be a pit fan. Some people will pay like $1,500, but for the most part, if you want to be a pit fan, which is like in the crowd in front of the stages so that it looks like everyone's partying and having a good time, whatever, it's free. But I know there were people in the crowd with us that paid an arm and a leg, and I think that's absolutely absurd, and I'll tell you why. So we had been watching all of the artists, waiting for them to post codes, And about 3 days before we left to go to Nashville, Kelly Clarkson posted a code, and the thing with that is they only get about 10 to 20 spaces when they post their code, so you have to be quick when you see those artists post that code to get in. So I saw Kelly post it. It was like, the post had been up for like 4 seconds. I jumped on it, I reserved 2 tickets, I was in. It was incredible. Automatically sent me a confirmation, my ticket codes, all the information I didn't fill out about myself, what I needed to bring, what time was check-in, name of me and my guests, etc, etc. So then when we left Wednesday morning super early, at like 3 o'clock in the morning probably. And on the way there, I believe it was Florida Georgia Line posted a code, and Liz was like, oh, like let me just grab that one, you know, just to have an extra code just in case, because she had 2 friends that were coming and they hadn't had tickets to get into the CMT Awards. So Liz won 2, she got them right away. And then we got an email telling us like what time we needed to be there. Come to find out, you needed to be 18 to be a Pit fan. And her friend, one of the girls that was coming with us, Jess, she was 17 at the time, and we were freaking out like, oh my god, like hopefully like she can get in. Like we knew they wanted to see our IDs, but we didn't know if they were checking to make sure that the names matched or to make sure that we were old enough. So we were just gonna kind of take a wild card shot about that. So long story short, check-in was at 3 p.m. The awards didn't start until 8, so I knew it was about to be a really long day, and I wasn't sure how many people had won tickets. So we actually got there a little bit before 3 because we wanted to make sure that we were towards the front of the line. We didn't get like lost in the shuffle. We wanted to be right up in the action. So we get there. There was probably about 80 to 90 people already there, like waiting in front of us. Mind you, this is in June, in the middle of Nashville, hot as molasses. Like I cannot and the thing with the humidity and the heat is, I'm from Florida, so heat, humidity, like it doesn't like affect me like it may people who are traveling from like other places who actually have seasons. But it was so hot, and it was dry heat, which is the worst. Dry heat to me is worse than humidity because it's just like you're in the desert. Like it is miserable. So it's 3 o'clock in the middle of the afternoon, in the middle of Nashville, in the middle of summer, and we were dying within the first 5 minutes. We weren't sure how long they were gonna make us stand out there, and then as more and more people started showing up, I was starting to get nervous because I felt like maybe they oversold too many tickets. So we waited outside for 3 hours, and it was miserable. One of the girls that we were with nearly passed out, and towards the end I saw maybe 8 to 10 people being carried out on stretchers because it was so hot that people were passing out. And at one point, it was probably like an hour and a half into us standing there, they started handing out warm water bottles. Like, who wants to drink that when they're already hot? Not me. There was no shade, no cover, no nothing, and we're just standing in the dead heat, melting all our makeup off after they told us in the email, like, make sure you guys look presentable, like you're gonna be on camera, like blah blah blah. We were like, we're gonna look like trash on these cameras because we're dying, right? So about 6 o'clock they start letting us in, and I noticed as they were checking our tickets and letting us in and getting us through the door that they were clicking it, counting. And I had a friend that was probably like 200 people behind us that told us like they were cutting the line off at 400, and there was close to 900 people waiting to get in. I think it is absurd that they gave out that many tickets, especially when there was a good amount of people who paid to get into the pit. Crazy. Oh, and Jess did get in, by the way. He looked at her picture, but he didn't look at her age, so she was good, and that was a success. So we get in right away. Everybody is picking which pit they're going to go to, because there was 3 different options. There was the front of the pit, which was near where the presenters were gonna come up and where people would be accepting their awards. There was the very front / the side of the stage where people would be performing. And then there was the back pit where the people on the side stages would perform. So like the up and coming artists, you know, people that play in and out of the commercials. We rushed up. Security was awful. They were so rude. They were like yelling at us not to run and all this stuff, but you can't expect 400 people who are trying to be at the front of the stages to not run. Like, unrealistic, unrealistic. We run up. We ended up right in the front of the presenter stage, which is a pretty cool place to be because it was like a long walkway, like runway type, and then right up on the side, like where would normally be like the 100 sections of an arena, that's where all the celebrities were sitting. And that in itself is an experience. To see that many famous people that you look up to and watch on TV, and to see them in person is just like something I can't even describe to you. The first person we noticed was Sam Hunt and his wife Hannah Lee. Then we saw Hoda from the Today Show. We saw Mason Ramsey, the little Walmart yodeling boy. We saw the Backstreet Boys. We saw Blake Shelton, Jason Aldean, Kelsey Ballerini, Carly Pierce, who's like my girl, and Kelsey like my girl. Like, I was so excited. Carrie Underwood and her husband, Kelly Clarkson, Roscoe Flats, Florida Georgia Line. Like, it was just like the most incredible feeling in the entire world to see all those people sitting there like right to the left of you. They let us in the door at 6, and then we stood in the hallway like by the concession and right outside the doors while people were still sound checking for another hour. So it was 7 o'clock when they finally let us bum rush in there. We're standing in the pit, and at this point I'm like, oh my god, we've been standing for 4 hours. Like, my feet were killing me. I couldn't like cool myself down because I was still so hot, and I was just like, this is miserable. I was just miserable. I was like, this is so cool. Like, I wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to live in the moment, but I could not shake the pain in my whole body, the soreness, the hot. Like, it was just, it's miserable. It's miserable for people to have to feel that way when they're about to go in and enjoy and experience this awesome, awesome opportunity. So we stood for another hour. 8 o'clock comes, the award show is finally starting, and I still, at this point, I'm like, oh my god, I've been standing for 5 hours, and they're just pushing as many people as they can into the pit, and I was sardined. Like, me and all my friends were like this, just like couldn't move in my own space, so close together to everybody else in that pit. And that was miserable when you're hot and you're hurting, right? So the award show starts. I'm trying to focus on that and not the excruciating pain in my body. And the award show itself was so cool to see in person. And the highlight for me was seeing Miss Carly Pierce win her first ever CMT award. And I'll insert a clip right here. CMT Music Award goes to Carly. The excitement that you see is like not even the half of it. I have never been so overcome with joy than I was in that moment, because Carly is just like the most humble, amazing, beautiful, just the sweetest human, and she is incredible. She is a fantastic performer, and she earned that. And it had been crazy to have been watching her journey for 2 years, and then to see her win that award that was well deserved. So that was a highlight for me. That was like the one moment of the evening that I like forgot how much pain I was in. A lot of cool things happened. I got to see Carrie Underwood perform for the first time ever, which is like someone I've looked up to since I was like 8 years old. Like, So that was just like awesome to see Kelsey perform and kill it, and to see people who were so well deserving win awards and see the reactions and get to experience the whole thing. It was the coolest thing in the entire world, and I'm so glad I went. However, I would never do the CMT Awards in the pit ever again. Like, it is just not worth it, because you got to think, after 8 o'clock hits, after you've been standing for 5 hours, then the award show's another 2.5 hours. So you're standing on your feet for almost 8 hours. It's just miserable. Just trust me on this. Right before the last performance of the night, which I believe was Darius Rucker, we dipped out because we wanted to try and beat the crowd a little bit, and we like hurried up and got through the crowd, and there was like drunk people like on the floor, people spilling drinks. This lady spilled her beer on me, so I was like, you're lucky it was the end of the night, because I'm gonna fight you like live on TV. As we were exiting, we turned the corner to the hallway and we ran right into Carly. So it was amazing to get to congratulate her after her win, and seeing her like give her a hug, and like that was just, oh my god. So with that being said, if you ever get the chance to attend an award show, just know that there are pros and cons to that scenario, and just be prepared, because if I had known that it was gonna go like that, and that we were gonna be like herded like cattle and thrown warm water bottles and, you know, standing in the heat and just standing for all that time, I would have prepared better, I'd say. And I definitely want to look into the seat filler position, because if that is available, I will take it in a millisecond. So overall, CMA Fest, CMT Awards, awesome experience as far as getting to witness that. If you want to see a part 2 to this video where I talk about just CMA Fest, give you some tips and tricks if you plan on going, let me know. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like this video, you like the story times, you want more, give this video a thumbs up so that I know. I would love to do more story times for you. I have a lot of stories to share. I am blessed enough to get to do a lot of really cool things, and I absolutely love sharing that. So if you want to see that, you know what to do. Also, please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I am this close to hitting 100 subscribers, which I'm so excited about. It's a very small victory, but it's a victory to me, because it's showing me that what I'm doing is effective, and that I have people who actually like my content and want to see more of it. So thank you so much if you have subscribed already. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Join my family and click that bell so that you are the first to know when I upload. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you as always for coming on this journey with me, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye.